Senator, yesterday you and Republican John Kennedy of Louisiana released a joint report highlighting the need to lower insulin prices for all Americans. The report comes after you both introduced a bill earlier this year to cap insulin prices at $35 a month. People are paying so much more than that, and it is life-saving. What's the solution? Does this do it?
Oh, absolutely. We have the solution. I can tell you that I've seen up close the problem of diabetes, first of all, as a pastor. I can't tell you how many bedsides I've stood next to over the decades. I've seen the tragic complications that come with unmanaged diabetes, the amputations, the dialysis when the kidneys fail, the blindness. Here's the thing. Insulin was invented 100 years ago. The patent was sold for $1. But what we've seen in recent years is big pharma taking advantage of the situation. When you need your insulin, you need insulin, which is why I'm proud that in the Inflation Reduction Act, we passed my provision, which capped the cost of insulin for folks on Medicare to no more than $35 per month of out-of-pocket costs. We were trying to get it. I was trying to get it for both the insured and the uninsured as well, which is why I'm proud that earlier this year, my Republican partner, John Kennedy, and I have introduced the latest version of this bill, which will cap the cost of insulin for folks who have insurance and those who do not have insurance. Yesterday, we unveiled this report, which speaks about what we call insulin deserts. These are places throughout our country, but especially in the South and the Southeast, where you see the tragic convergence of high rates of diabetes and high rates of uninsured people. And the bill that we've introduced addresses this problem. It is a problem we can solve for a fraction of the cost that we spend in the United States just dealing with the hospitalizations from the complications related to diabetes. It's the right thing to do. It's the smart thing to do. And I'm hopeful that we'll get it done this year.
So, Senator, insulin at $35 per prescription would be a life-saving gift to millions of people in this country. My question to you is, why has it taken so long to get this done? And what about the power of the pharmaceutical industry? Are they that powerful?
Well, I think we saw in the last few months and over the last year the impact that we can have on the private sector when we do our jobs here in the Congress. We cap the cost of insulin using my provision at $35 per month of out-of-pocket costs for folks on Medicare. And what we saw was that in the private sector, I think responding to that pressure, they began to put some caps in place on their own. But we would be foolish to not recognize that those caps can be rescinded at any time, which is why I'm pushing forward this bill. It will ensure that insulin is affordable for everybody in America who needs it. There's a reason why you see a bipartisan push to do this, because it makes sense. John Kennedy, my Republican partner with whom I don't agree on a whole range of concerns, has more diabetics in his state than I have in the state of Georgia. There's a reason why you've seen that half of the states have already capped insulin. We need to do it here at the federal level and ensure that people like Lacey McGee, a young graduate student that I've gotten to know, who found herself while in graduate school having to meet up with people in Facebook groups and in dim parking lots to get borrowed insulin from friends whose relatives had died. That should not happen in the United States of America. And the good news, even in these tragic times, is that this is a problem we can solve, and we really ought to do it this year.
Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock of Georgia, thank you very much for being on this.